This video is sponsored by Liverpool Stamps. Visit their website and enter the code FREERED at checkout for 15% off and a free penny red with each order until April 1st. I love making YouTube videos, but I love to work on my stamp collection just as much. I'm not really happy with the rate of my uploads lately, so I figured I'd start a new series that is more laid back, where I talk about what I've recently received in the mail, as well as my latest progress within this hobby. So, join me on this first episode of Hobby Highlights. Up first is a very interesting letter sent to me by Steven, who runs Liverpool Stamps. While I don't specialize in Great Britain, I love collecting these earlier and more well-known issues, such as the Penny Black, Penny Red, and Twopence Blue. I received a very nice imperforate example with a Maltese cross cancel, as well as a few perforated ones and a perfin. I'm not the best with perf gauges, but I'm pretty sure they're all perforated 14. As of that perfin, I searched high and low online, but I wasn't able to figure out which company made it or if it was the British government that made it. So any help on that would be greatly appreciated. The reason why they're also not on a page yet is due to the fact that I haven't been able to identify their watermark. I lack the fluid and tray in order to be able to do so. I'll be getting some soon since I have tons of other stamps that I need to work on, and we'll let you all know which watermark they ended up having in a future episode. Next up is my best postal history find of the year so far, and it's got quite the historical background behind it as well. It's a Bulgarian piece of stationery that was sent to the Ottoman Empire, which is modern-day Turkey for those who don't know. The franking is correct, which means the sender paid the proper amount. However, it still has a tax stamp, which they usually used for mail that was missing stamps and had a certain amount to due that would have been collected from the recipient. The 4 written in blue that you're also able to see on the front confirms a very interesting story. At the time this postcard was sent, Bulgaria was a relatively new nation, having only gained its independence in 1879. The Ottomans, who lost control over the country, were still trying to assert some form of authority to affirm their legitimacy. One of those methods was through the postal system. Some conservative clerks, who were not fond of the idea of an independent Bulgaria, would convert the value of the affixed stamps to piaster, which is the Turkish currency, rather than keeping it in the Bulgarian statinki. This would result in the card being short about 4 piaster, even though it was sent from Bulgaria and was properly franked by Bulgarian standards, making this postcard's marks and cancels quite unique. These past few months, I've also made considerable progress in the postal history section of my stamp album pages. For those that don't follow me on social media, 2 years ago I finalized my first album for Bulgaria, from 1879 to 1946. I've been working on it here and there, adding pages and fixing issues with it, but lately I've expanded it to have a postal history area with various sections of material, such as stationery, traveling post office mail, censorship labels and cancels, commemorative cancels, and finally airmail. And for once, I'm not lacking the resources in order to be able to tell apart these cancels and identify them, since I recently acquired this book written by Thomas Hitzler. It's a very well-made and comprehensive guide for the postmarks of the country I chose to specialize in. My favorite postcards in my collection, however, are the ones that were sent to World War I prisoners of war. There's distinct cancels and markings on them. Furthermore, the minimalist and compact designs of the postcards, aimed at conserving ink and paper, makes them, in my opinion, very attractive to collect. While the contents of the letter may not be postal history, I still find it very fascinating decrypting who sent it, why they sent it, and where they sent it from. Take for example this postcard sent to Alex Orlovsky, a French soldier who was in a prisoner of war camp in Plovdiv, Bulgaria. This one is easier, since the sender wrote Orlovsky's unit, which was the 8e Chasseurs d'Afrique. I found a book online of the history of the regiment, and turns out Alex didn't come back from his reconnaissance mission while fighting in North Macedonia, and was declared missing in action. However, this postcard is proof that he was alive nearly 3 years after his capture. I also found out online that a museum has a scrapbook of his with photographs and drawings. So this piece of stationery that I've come to own is not the only trace he left in history. This isn't the only postcard I have that fits in that section. I also have another one that was sent to what I believe was a Serbian doctor who was captured in the early years of World War I when Austria-Hungary and Bulgaria were invading Serbia. One thing that is for sure though is I won't be lacking material to work on anytime soon. I've got tons of covers and stamps I want to talk about in future videos of this new Hobby Highlights series. I also can't wait for Aurapex, a national stamp show that'll be happening in Ottawa. And I'm going to be going there to gather content for 2 upcoming videos on exhibiting and presenting at a stamp show. My name is Michael, and this was a feature philately video. Please like and subscribe, and make sure you tell me what you thought of it in the comment sections down below. Thank you. And presenting at a stamp show.